Hey everyone, welcome back to NYC Chatroom with Tiffany and Lauren. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
All right, so today we got some good topics that we're going to discuss about what's going on in the headlines. So we're going to get right into it with our first topic that seems to be, talked about all on the blogs. It's the Will and Jada situation. Mm-hmm. So as we know, Jada Pinkett has her Red Table Talk. That she sits down and she brings on other celebrities and they have topics. So most recently she had Gwyneth Paltrow, who is promoting her Netflix special that she has going on. And pretty much the topic was pretty much talking about women's sexuality and being comfortable in it and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. So it came up where she was talking about your partner. She didn't specifically mention Will, but we know she's married to him, so we just put two and two together. Mm-hmm. And she was saying how you just are supposed to, you expect your partner to just know.
Yeah. You expect your partner to know, especially when it comes to sex.
Right.
It's like, well, if you love me, you should know.
Right.
Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you love me,
you should be able to read my mind.
What you want as far as, sexually and, just all together. You just expect them to know what your needs, what your wants are without you having to explain it because they love you. Jada, I feel like she's doing the most. Okay, no, she didn't specifically say that Will was trash in bed and all this stuff that people are saying on the blogs, but I feel like she does too much. To me, there's an extent of being transparent. I think she tries to harp on that a lot, but she does too much, and she's, to me, messing up his brand a little bit by constantly bringing him up, or we had the whole
undermining.
Right,
I would use that word.
Right, and some people are saying even his manhood is being fooled with a little bit, and everything that she says in her commentary. Yeah. So she's doing too much.
Jada's definitely the fuckboy of this relationship. Like, I feel
for the streets, as they say.
Like, I mean, she is doing a lot. Like, with the comments separately about her saying that, a lot of times people take for granted that we have to discuss our needs with our partner. That's a valid point. Mm-hmm. And to that point, I think that many times you want someone to observe, and you want someone to try to, catch on without you necessarily saying every striking thing. So I think there's a balance there. But also, did you have not any discernment that like this topic might make people think of the whole August Alsina thing, and how you was, on that thing. So where you was talking about people won't be, you sound like you pressed again. Like maybe you trying to text, hey, big head to August real quick.
It does.
I don't know.
It is giving that.
You're getting the itch, and I feel like even if you have some things to talk about, I think that Jada should be trepidatious around matters around her relationship because she's embarrassing him now.
And the shows they're not live, I don't think. So I mean, she don't like reel that back like, ooh, you know what?
She's like,
take that one out because they might do too much. But then she came back saying, me and Will have no problems in the bed. So then why you saying stuff then? Why are you bringing it up constantly? First it was
I think it's like, that song, No One Man Can Satisfy Her.
And I think so, because originally she was the one that kept saying, I never wanted to be married. I never wanted this. I wanted to be...
Their wedding, this marriage, and they said, bad marriage for life. I wanted to be like, no.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what they said that when they did their response to August Alsina thing on the Red Table Talk. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was so disturbing. And when they talk about their marriage story, how she cried on the wedding day, she didn't want to get married, and she cried the whole time, and
you got Will out here looking real crazy.
Yes, and then did you hear the story that he said about when during that follow up on the August Alsina thing? He said the reason why he so-called left her so she could go, and be and entangle
royal
herself,
oats.
right? The reason why she was free to entangle is because he tried to throw her a really nice party, and he put all this effort into it, and learned about her heritage, and then she replied to the party that it was the biggest display of his ego that she'd ever seen. I would have packed a bag too. Like, imagine throwing a party for your spouse. I would not
be surprised, even though they say all these. If we're gonna be you on one side of the house, I'm on the other side of the house. I wouldn't be surprised if Will kind of is like, you know what, I'm done. I would not be surprised. Not saying that I want it.
He seems.
I just would not be surprised.
Like he's still claiming her, as his wife. So
I mean, I would not be surprised. But he said that about the first one.
She
was the one. The first wife was the one who filed for divorce. He didn't. He said he would have never did it.
Oh.
Yes. I remember that. He said he would have never done it. So I think it's just, I don't know.
It takes a special type of man to be married to Jada.
It does.
I don't think by any stretch of the imagination that Will is sitting there crying and getting cheated on. No, please.
No,
I think
Will out here doing stuff.
But she publicly makes shit hot.
She
making the block hot. Like your
Will side hoes, they know to stay in their place.
Listen,
okay,
they don't peep.
Nobody ain't making no records.
No, talking about why is you texting me saying who next to me? Like you wasn't supposed to. Oh gosh. But Jada, I think that you need to be more conscientious about the Tupac poems you put out.
Yes,
about
over here crying every second.
Stop.
Stop it. Stop it. Moving along.
Exactly.
Okay, so next we're only gonna touch on this real quick. This whole Boosie and Lil Nas X situation, they have been going back and forth with each other in the blogs. You know, trolling each other. Yes, and Boosie being mad about him and whatever he does
he was
in
like,
public.
You talking about you gonna strip naked on the bars? I'll beat your ass. Yeah.
He was getting very violent, and then even in his most recent post, he gets very extra Boosie in what he says. My whole thing is we know Lil Nas X is a troll. He trolls the industry. He trolls people. We know this. This is not something. Yeah. That's just an epiphany to everyone. This is something that he does. And he knows Boosie is now his little, target, that he can get more exposure with him constantly doing things to piss him off. So I think the both of them are just going back and forth. People are also saying that Boosie is just hiding whatever suppressed, homosexual feelings he's having himself. I don't know. But it's becoming annoying and it's going too far, and I feel like both of them just need to shut the hell up.
I think that the reason what started this whole beef was I think that there is a noticeable increase in certain displays of same-sex interactions on television and media. So I think that a lot of people who have more, I guess you want to say, traditional views are really uncomfortable with that. We have seen similar, when they had the kiss on the awards, we've seen, women do this in the past. And it was kind of like, people were upset. They were. Like, but people were also turned on.
Yeah, it wasn't that much of an uproar.
It was like, it was more like the moms were like, this is the type of stuff we want to see on
it definitely
TV.
Wasn't the uproar that Lil Nas X is getting.
So it was like it was a mix. It was controversial, but it was like they had a mixed review to it. And we've seen several girl-on-girl kisses on television outside of just the Britney Spears and the Madonna kiss. So I think that this was Lil Nas obviously was trying to like pay homage to that, if that's what you want to call it. And people are a lot more uncomfortable, I think, with seeing males kiss on TV than women. So I think particularly there's a lot of homophobia in the black male community. So I think a lot of men were like, we're not going for that on TV.
Right.
So I think that, and people were criticizing Boosie for being a hypocrite because he showed a lot of lesbian interactions on his little lives he was doing or whatever, where, so apparently he's all for LGBT relations when it's girl on girl, and that's hypocritical, of course.
Which a lot of men
are. That's stereotypical.
It's
so
very
his
much
response
that.
is stereotypical. I'm sure there's guys in the barbershop that's reacting just like Boosie was to the kiss. So I think it's pretty like.
But both of them just need to leave each other alone, shut the hell up, because they're not going to stop.
It's starting to give me like, y'all want to kiss at this point?
Right, exactly. So our next topic, Miss Young Miami from City Girls came out with her new video, I guess, or new song. It's called
Rap Freaks.
It's called Rap Freaks. The song is I think it's not even more than 2 minutes long. It's a very short song, and pretty much she's name dropping different people or different male rappers, I should say, that she would sleep with in the industry. I think the song is trash. I think that's been, pretty much from what I've seen, people in the comments have said the same thing. Young Miami, I find her very funny. If she had a podcast or something, I would probably listen to it because I find her and then her friend that she has, Santana, both of them are very funny. They're hilarious. So I can see why people are drawn to her. But rap-wise, which I think she knows, she's not that great of, she's not a rapper, a lyricist, whatever. it wants to be called. So the song is trash, and it's pretty much just her talking about the men that she sleep with in the industry. But we saw Nicki Minaj also did this, and we've seen it done before Nicki Minaj as well.
Biggie did it.
Right, he
Yeah.
did the male version.
And I think
of
50
it.
Cent did one too, where he talked about 50 Cent had a version of a similar style of song. But I think
vaguely
Biggie was the
remember
first
that.
person. 50 Cent did one. Little now what's her name? The one you just mentioned.
Young Miami.
Nicki Minaj did one, and now
Yeah.
this. But hers has to be by far the wackest. Like the voice, the tone of her voice was irritating. The bars weren't there. She was just calling names, and I think that's what got the buzz going. Is that she was just saying things that were like. But what other than that, what else?
Yeah,
was
my
there?
thing is like, aren't we just tired of this same?
A minute and
you know-
43 seconds long. That's like a YouTube commercial. Like.
Right, of
That was
just
the whole
talking about
song.
sex and who you want to have sex with, and like, aren't we tired of that? Can we move on from that? Can we do more? Like, there's so many female rappers out here who do so much more and give so much more in, you know, their lyrics and time and effort, and I just feel like we gotta. It's more. It's not women empowerment as they like to put it out as, or payment homage. It's enough. Like, it has nothing to do with women empowerment, in my opinion. It's just, we have to move on. We have to do more than just talking, you know, about sex and who we want to have sex with. And enough. We've heard it. We've heard it over and over again. To me, it feels like every female rapper is talking about the same damn thing right now, or at least all the major ones that are out there. Like, I'm over it. I'm over it.
You may not rhyme roaches in Buenos Noches.
And she tried to say she didn't mean to rhyme it. She said it was just supposed to be just her saying, like, good night, I'm finished singing. Or I'm finished rapping. Find something else to rap about. There's so much going on out here that you can rap about.
The people have to buy the records, though. When people make other type of music, it's like, I think that we have to be accountable too. If they put out something else, we have to listen to it and support it. If it's not WAP and thought shit, we have to actually support artists that are, you know, talking about other stuff.
And I do. Me personally, I know
Yes.
I do. I listen to people outside of that because I can't.
Right.
That's why I don't listen to the radio,
No.
because it's the same 10 songs over and over and over again. So.
Next, we're going to talk about Michael Myers. And, you know, people were saying that in the new movie, it's homophobic that he murders homosexuals on screen. And they find that to be homophobic for some reason. Would it be more homophobic if he didn't at this point? Because everybody else got got.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
y'all want to be the only ones not
Michael
getting got?
Myers is an equal opportunist murderer.
Right.
So I don't understand. People were saying this was a joke, but then other people were saying that there's, like, first, it's just stupid. Okay, Michael Myers kills everybody. It's a movie. He's a murderer. He don't even talk. So,
I mean, it's going to get to the point where people are going to see LGBT people and be afraid to even interact.
It's kind of like how people see PETA. Whenever you mention anything, they always mention PETA and the people with the animals and stuff. It's kind of like that. Like, you can't say nothing, can't do nothing. Like, come on now.
It's a lot.
That was a stupid thing to even bring up as far as Michael Myers and this new Halloween movie.
And sometimes it's the ones that are, you know, pointing out the issues that have to look into themselves. Did you hear about the person that was calling out Dave Chappelle? They pulled out some of that trans individual's tweets.
I did not.
And I just remembered that. Like, remember the main one that was all dolled up with the teeth and the headpiece?
I do. I think I saw a picture.
Yes.
I did see a picture.
Well, them tweets was talking about Asians are stupid and all kind. Yes, they was going in. So, and that was the main person. So it's hard to. So what? Did you not want homosexuals in a slasher movie?
Because they're trying to be inclusive.
Right.
You know, it just so happened to be a murderous movie, but they were trying to be
So they wanted Michael Myers to be like, not you, bitch, because I love. Like.
With the knife in his hand,
right.
like. So it's like, what do y'all want? They were trying to be inclusive.
He
they were
kills
trying
everybody.
to, right. So they were trying to, you know, bring that
They
in.
don't care about your orientation.
He is an equal opportunist.
We need an explanation. If you're part of the LGBT community and you're offended by LGBT people being murdered in slasher movies, please let us know. Give us your thoughts.
What was up with that one? Is that real, or was that just something that people just put out there, maybe to promote the movie a little bit more?
Right. You have to wonder with some of these things because
That is true. That is just for promotional purposes. All right, so we're gonna talk about this whole Bianca Bonnie, I think her name is, or from Love. Well, she's from Love and Hip Hop, and then she was also on Marriage Boot Camp with her baby daddy, Chozes.
Well, she's originally from Chicken Noodle Soup.
Yes, she's a chicken noodle. Right. If you don't know who that is, she's a chicken noodle soup girl.
Right.
And even on Love and Hip Hop, she was working with Yandy, I think, trying to, bring herself back out there, rebrand
she can really
herself.
Rap. She can rap. I'm surprised that was her only hit song, Chicken Noodle Soup.
Right, and then she just disappeared and then came back.
Right.
So her issue is with her baby daddy, who she's no longer with. He has a new fiance, and her name is Pia Slay, Phia. I think I'm saying that right, or fiance. Posting her child on her social medias and things like this. And this is because the two of them have gone back and forth. Bianca and Pia have gone back and forth with each other and saying mean things on social media. And something came up where I think Pia had called Bianca a roach or something like that of some sort. And that set it off. So she has asked her not to post her child on social media. Pia has obviously doesn't give a damn about what's asked, and she has posted posted him, it's a little boy, a few times since then. Even most recently they posted it all over the blogs and things like that. So my question is, where does the baby daddy come into play in this of either stopping her from doing that, speaking to the baby mama, having them together? What should happen in this situation?
What I don't understand with her, and I did watch her season of Marriage Boot Camp, and she seemed like they weren't together. He had other girlfriends, and she was struggling with letting go, and I think the struggle continues.
Right.
Because she's in a relationship. I couldn't see myself. I might, I just wouldn't worry about things like that.
Yeah.
If my ex was dating someone else, and I'm over here serious and they're over there serious, and they want to play little family and post. Even if I said, you got to pick your battles. If I said, don't post my child, and they continue to, I would just be like, and I'd move on because they're making their little family over there. I just don't understand why she chooses to trouble herself with this. On the flip side, if someone asks me not to post their child, I'm not that
going
pressed.
to it. So it's like the both of them are being vindictive towards each other.
On both ends, it's just not quite that serious.
Right.
You don't have to post a lady child, and you could just forget about it because she's already around your child. Isn't that the main thing?
Right. And people in the comments are saying she's not saying that she doesn't want the girl around her child. She's just asking her, don't post.
And that to me shows that you like my child. So you enjoy. I mean, and
I don't even think it's that. I think it's just her wanting to be petty.
And any reason you're giving, it all stops for me to ignore you.
Right, for me to not feed into your pettiness. Because I think if she just didn't say anything,
I'm going to be like,
the girl would be over it.
Exclamation point.
Right. I think if she just didn't say anything, left it alone, forgot about it, the girl would just be like, okay, well, I had my fun.
Now she has a little button. Every time she want to irritate you, she just posts a picture. I just think that she should forget about it. I do think in healthy co-parenting relationships, as the new person in the situation, you should ask. Right. You should ask the father, is it cool? If the father says it's cool, I don't need to ask the mom. If I'm with the father and the father says I may post a picture of the child, then I've gotten permission from a parent.
I do agree with that. But I also agree with if the mom is asking, hey, can you tell her not to do that?
Once I know
whatever.
I'm done.
I'm not doing it.
I wouldn't post a thing. If I know, even if you give me a look because I posted it, you don't got to ask me twice.
Yeah, that's why sometimes
because
it's
I would
hard.
be posting out of love.
It's hard with co-parenting and having an outside person come in because you're trying to show respect, but you're with this person, but the other person is asking you to do certain things or not do certain things. So it is hard, but you should try and find some type of middle ground for the child's sake. Just being petty towards each other, what is that gonna solve? What is that doing?
She, like I said, I felt like this is exactly how I expected them to co-parent because she was already kind of having this tug of war over him and who he was with before she even had a child, before she was even pregnant. So I hope that they can let this go, this little back and forth. That I think she uses this as an excuse to continue to beef with him and whoever.
Yeah, so y'all figure that out,
right?
Because the child's just going to be there and it's going to get older and have to see y'all doing this back and forth,
right?
So it's going to get exhausting and tiring, and it's unnecessary.
Right.
So our last story we're going to talk about is a story out of Texas, out of Fort Worth, Texas. It was a young girl, a young woman, I should say. She's 22. Her name was Abigail Saldana. So a few weeks ago, she had found a tracking device on her vehicle, and she posted on social media, and she also told her family that she found this tracking device on her vehicle. And pretty much on the social media, she was telling people like, oh, be careful, watch what you're doing out here. I have no idea how this even got on my car. Just be safe out here, ladies. That was her, trying to put it out there as a disclaimer to women. So fast forward to more recent, police officers had a call about a car accident off of a highway out in Texas. And in that car accident, they found Abigail Saldana shot in the vehicle. And they're saying it was by a 54, well, right now he's arrested, and it's 54-year-old Stanley Salziga. I might be saying that wrong, but it's a 54-year-old man. The family has stated that they don't know if Abigail knew him, but they have no idea who he is or why he would even want to do this to her. So the story is still developing, but it's a sad situation, and women out here, we got to be very careful with things like that when we have
It's crazy
situations.
how much technology is, on one hand, facilitating these events, and then also preventing and revealing some of them. Because I recently watched a compilation of how ring lights are kind of, or doorbell lights are kind of, the doorbell, what's it called?
Ring.
Right. So it's kind of those sort of services, because I know there's a few of them. They're catching people at women's doors doing freaky things when they're not home, when they are home. I've seen guys masturbating in front of women's doors, walking slow and looking in the peephole, different ones where I've seen surveillance where the woman's going into her apartment, the guy runs right up to the door, and she slams it right then and there, and he's like knocking. Yeah,
that happened recently too, where a young girl, she had let her dog out, and this guy apparently, she said somehow he knew that she was home.
Gloves, right?
He somehow knew that she was home alone, and she was able to get back in her house, thank goodness, and close her door.
He looked
weird, but he was
face.
trying. He kept trying to get in her house. He had zip ties.
He
had a gun. He was trying to break the windows of her house.
Yeah,
all
and it took the
kinds
cops
of stuff.
30 minutes to get to her house.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the only way they found him was because I think they said his mother identified him as being the person, and they didn't even want to press charges against him at first, saying that there wasn't any real probable cause, as they said. So social media putting it out there and making it known, and I think her local either council person also made calls and things like that they finally did charge this person, but she had it all videotaped on her doorbell camera, whatever device she had. It was her doorbell camera. She was able to have this video. So these tracking devices and things like that, and they're not expensive to get out here. So if people are getting them, and then this person was able to put it on her car, and she had no idea who even did it or how or whatever the case may be.
Because there's a lot of these devices are available on Amazon and the internet, or even local shops, and you can just walk by someone's car and adhere something to, like, you don't have to even get inside. And who's checking up under their like wheels to see if something is stuck
unless you're getting your car fixed or serviced or something like that.
Or how many times have you actually left your doors open?
Right.
Somebody could put something under your mat.
Or you just get in your car sometimes looking down at something. You just never know out here.
Sweep their car the first thing before they get they get going in the morning, because you just don't assume that somebody's going to be interested in little old you. And it's really sad that even sometimes you can take someone's their government name and you can find out a lot about them.
You
for
definitely can.
$1.
You definitely can.
So I would definitely urge women to be vigilant and to be proactive in these times with their safety. Just also try to travel in. Obviously, it's no one's fault if they're attacked or murdered or anything like that, if they have a traumatic experience. But if you travel in pairs, or have your keys out before you go to your car, stuff like that.
Right. We just have to be very aware.
Right.
As much as we try to, you just have to be even more cautious.
And
of
be
your
careful with these
surroundings
Uber and Lyft drivers
Right.
too, because those are just regular people
Uber,
that are
Lyft
driving
drivers,
cars.
dating sites, all
Right.
these type of things that are now becoming the norm.
Yeah.
In society, it's not always just going to the bar.
I try to, like, when I'm out and about on social media, if I want to share that I've been somewhere, it's when I have been there. I don't share right in the moment that I'm sitting right there.
Right.
Like, I'm starting my meal here right now, and let everyone broadcast that.
Right, and you don't have to state everywhere that you are. Even if you
Right.
post yourself there, you don't have to tell the exact name,
Right.
location of where you are. It's not necessary all the time.
And
So
people
just
are like internet sleuths because they'll really like tell
They'll
by
see
the
a
window.
picture.
Yeah, like, oh, I know that fire hydrant.
Right, it's
You
true.
live over there, so just be careful
Just
because
very careful
people.
out here.
There was the other story that was the recent story, like maybe over the summer, I think it was, with the influencer that got murdered by they were saying that was her sugar daddy, but I don't know if they confirmed that they knew each other. Mm-hmm. And he like killed himself, and she was really pretty, and
she was a young girl in Florida.
And then you have Maya Mercado.
Oh yes, that's the one I'm referring to.
Yeah.
Maya
So
Mercado,
there are a few of these, and I know that this is women have been attacked and stalked for years and
but
years
now
and
there's
years.
more ways of them to do it, more
Right.
with everything being digital and
We're
electronic.
overexposed.
It's becoming I can't even say more common, but it's just becoming easier for
Right.
them to track people and
Google
stalk
search
people.
yourself, and you can send the companies the email and ask them to remove your address from their site. So
if you
just
find it
do
online.
monthly Googles of yourself to make sure that your address isn't public.
Right, and your information is only on things that you have utilized.
Right.
All right, so thanks guys for joining us for another video. We're doing good.
We are 3 deep. All right, I feel accomplished.
We appreciate those who comment.
Yes.
We appreciate the comments and the
Thank you so
commentary.
much.
Thank you for being there with us. So we'll see you next time. Thanks again.
Now they're gonna help. Now they're gonna help me, no man. Help you, sister, me a check out me and boss me. Producer boss me, no man. You know me never hold a 10 or a 15. That still me teeth like puss and sneaking like crack. And me no want them broke me foot and me no want them broke me. Still me teeth like puss and sneaking like crack. And me no want them broke me foot and me no want them broke me foot and me no done.